Chairman Royce, thank you for calling this very timely hearing on an issue that impacts millions of people around the world, which is U.S. international broadcasting. Last month, I had the opportunity to speak at the 70th anniversary of the Voice of America's Albanian service. That event was a reminder that providing unbiased views and news to those who are denied access to information in their own countries remains as relevant today as it was when VOA began broadcasting during World War II. U.S. international broadcasting endures because it has maintained a commitment to journalistic integrity. First principle of our broadcasting is to provide news that is, quote, consistently reliable and authoritative, accurate, objective, and comprehensive, end of quote. In the years since the dawn of U.S. international broadcasting, the structures and technologies to deliver the news have changed dramatically. What began as VOA Radio has evolved into 5 distinct organizations housed within the Broadcasting Board of Governors, or BBG. Today, these entities reach over 200 million people per week in 61 languages, radio, TV, the Internet, and even mobile phones. While the BBG and its various sub-entities continue to play an important role in U.S. foreign policy, some questions have been raised about the management of the agency. An Inspector General report issued earlier this year found that the BBG was, and I quote again, failing in its mandated duties, unquote, and it attributed that failure to a flawed structure and strong internal dissension. One problem highlighted by the report is that the BBG board, originally intended to operate on a part-time basis, has in practice assumed full-time responsibilities of supervising a massive media organization with broadcasts to more than 100 countries. This problem has been compounded by the large number of board vacancies, which has left the BBG without a quorum necessary to make official decisions. Currently, only 4 of the 9 board slots are filled. These vacancies increase the pressure and responsibilities of the sitting governors to supervise the BBG. I hope the Senate will soon take action on the 3 nominees now being considered, and that the President will nominate additional board members. In addition, questions have been raised about the lines of authority at the BBG. Voice of America, which is a federal entity, reports to the head of the International Broadcasting Bureau, while Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty, a private grantee, reports directly to the Board of Governors. This can create confusion about who's in charge, resulting in unnecessary duplication and undermining accountability. Finally, many of us are concerned about the consistently low morale among employees at the BBG. Year after year, federal surveys show that the BBG ranks among the bottom of all federal agencies in terms of job satisfaction. In response to these and other issues, the administration has proposed the creation of a chief executive officer. The CEO would be selected by the board and be delegated will be delegated some of the board's responsibilities, including the day-to-day management of the agency. This approach is supported by the Inspector General. As we examine ways to improve the governance of international broadcasting, it's vital that any reforms maintain the journalistic integrity that's been built over the last 70 years. This means maintaining a strong firewall between journalism and politics. I look forward to hearing a frank assessment from our witnesses on the challenges facing the BBG and on the board's proposal to create a CEO, as well as other recommendations they might have for improving U.S. international broadcasting. I'm a big supporter of VOA. I'm a big supporter of U.S. broadcasting. Congresswoman Ross Layton and I, many years ago, had the fight for Radio Marti. I really think this makes a change. I've done a lot of work in Albania, and the interesting thing for me is when Albania first opened up, when I was here in the early 1990s, and I went there, I asked them what happened during the Cold War when you had the most repressive dictatorship. How did you know what was going on? And they said that the Voice of America was important. They all listened to it. They listened to some television from Italy. But Voice of America was instrumental, and I believe it was instrumental then, it was instrumental during the Cold War, and it's instrumental now. So as the VOA adage goes, tell the truth and let the world decide. I believe that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.